Did you say, can we say a prayer for that?
I'm going to start on page 339. The words are Hava Nashira, let us sing. Hava Nashira, Hava Nashira, Hava Nashira, let us sing. Hava Nashira, Hava Nashira, Hava Nashira, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Hava Nashira. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Let us sing. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Hava Nashira. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Let us sing. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Let us sing. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Hava Nashira. Let us sing.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. It's so
Shabbat
nice to
Shalom.
be with you tonight. It's nice to have the choir here, and we'll be honoring our retiring archivist a little bit later in the service, which is bittersweet, Martha. So it's really good to be here. We are going to light Shabbat candles, and I believe that we're inviting Miranda Larson to the bima to light candles. Page 2. It's on the bottom. It's okay.
Sing together as a choir. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We will continue now with Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming Shabbat on page 14 from Psalm 97 or Zarua. It's the last paragraph on the page.
Yum bidi bum bum bidi bum bum bidi bum bum bidi bum bum biddy bum biddy bum biddy bum biddy bum yum biddy bum 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 namana bum biddy bum namana 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 yamana namana 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 namana
On page 20 is Lecha Dodi. And we will welcome the Shabbat presence. We've welcomed Shabbat in with light. And now we're going to actually, in the mystical tradition, welcome in the Shabbat presence. What that means is when we get to paragraph 9, we'll sing together paragraphs 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to 9, we'll stand, we'll turn towards the door, and we'll welcome in Shabbat. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha dodi lekrat kala pene Shabbat ekabela Lecha dodi lekrat kala pene Shabbat ekabela Shamor vezachor bedibur echad Yishmianu Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'lithilah Lecha dodi lekrat kala Penei Shabbat ekabela Lecha dodi lekrat kala Penei Shabbat ekabela לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת לקבלה לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוניה עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת יקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת יקבלה.
Shabbat Shalom.
To turn myself on and off? I can or I don't have to. Because it's annoying. It's very annoying. I think he should mute because it's really annoying for me to keep. Well, don't do. Let's not do it now.
Sharon, you know when to say the stand. We watch her. I watch her. I'm a duckling.
Standing and sitting. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
We will continue with Kabbalat Shabbat on page 93. On page 93, I mean, not on page 93, on page 23, Psalm 93. It's the last, it's 4 lines from the top of the last paragraph. So there's 3 paragraphs, it's 4 lines down. Mikolot Mayim Rabim.
מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משבריה. מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משבריה. אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני. מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משבריה. מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משבריה. אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני. מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משבריה. מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משבריה. אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, על מה דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיית כל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמיה במבורך, לעולם עולם מעלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי בקודשה. בריחו לילה מן כה בחטא ושירתו, תוש בחטא ונחמתה, להמיר על מעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
Please rise as you are able for Baruch, page 28.
Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma potech she'arim, v'tvuna meshana itim, v'chalif et hazmanim, v'misader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיר בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
On page 32, we read together the first 6 lines in English. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, והם נגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
You may be seated. We continue on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבת בם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. Please join me. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Of Hanukkah in that melody that we just sang. It's interesting to pair that song, or the Michamocha, with a holiday melody, since we know Michamocha comes from the text of leaving Egypt and imagining on this other side that we're going to have freedom, right? And then along Hanukkah comes to tell us that we sometimes have to fight for our freedom, and we have to always remember to never give up, right? I mean, that's what Hanukkah is about. It's about a little bit of oil, a little bit of might, and a lot of spirit. And so even today, it's a special, or maybe especially today, it's an important message for us to hold up our heads high and to celebrate Hanukkah out loud, putting our Chanukiot in the windows and letting them shine for all to see. Sometime in the future, when all will be feel free to celebrate and to share who they are publicly and out loud. We turn to page 43, Let There Be Love and Understanding Among Us.
Understanding among us, let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashivenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Hashkivenu beloved and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's
Baruch atah Adonai Peresu Kat Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We turn now to Misha Berach on page 253 in the middle of the page. This prayer, or this comes in two parts. The first part is for all of us. We have an opportunity to think about what it is that we need in this moment to make our lives a blessing, to have the courage to ask for that. Then we'll pause for a moment and share the names of the members of our community, our family, our friends who are in need of healing. And then go on to the second paragraph, which is in fact a blessing, a prayer for healing, refuah shlema, renewal of body, and renewal of spirit.
Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Tonight we hold in our hearts for healing Ellen Apple, Julie Arnheim, Peggy Boone, Alex Botkin, Jimmy Broff, Chuck Davis, Eileen Davis, Ed Mandel, Joanne Mandel DeWitt, William Scott Fleming, Melissa Helton, Kate Can, Naum Kaplan, Al Camper, Gary Kinkella, Paige Lang, Chaya Leah, Sally Littman, Laura Marshak, Hal Mendlowitz, Stephen Nidus, Nancy Rosenthal, Bud Roth, Cheryl Sachs Dowling, Stephen Schimmel, Benjamin F. Siegel, Jonathan Wind, Kayla Wright, James J.H. Yee, Hindasara bat Chana Pearl, Chaya Bela bat Shana Fega, Yermatia Shulamit bat Miriam, Chavel Gitel bat Toiba, Tinok ben Chana Zahava, Deborah Zions. Are there any other names from Misha Berach tonight? Continue with the second paragraph of Misha Berach.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
On page 44, at the bottom of the page, in honor of Shabbat, Yismachu.
מקדש שביעי, מקדש שביעי, שבת כל העם ישמעו, וידאגו מטובך שבת. רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים, אותו קראת שבת. ישמעו מלאכותך, ישמעו מלאכותך, שומרי שבת וקורא יורים, עונג שבת. זה
We turn now to the tefillah, which begins on page 46 with an opening meditation. We will sing that all together and then continue on our own through the rest of the tefillah. You can sit down, you can stand up, whatever's comfortable for you, and then we'll join back together after the tefillah. Please rise as you're able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. limera, ושפתיים מדבר מרמה, ולמקל אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי, אלוהי, אלוהי. רצונים רפים, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, 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 צורי, אדוני, צורי, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and happy Hanukkah. Since we have the choir here, take a seat for a second. Since we have the choir here this evening, we thought we should share some beautiful Hanukkah melodies. We will have Temple Sinai joining us on Friday night next week, but given that some folks may be away, we thought this was a chance when a lot of people are here. It's fantastic to see such a full sanctuary to share some beautiful Hanukkah music. So our first piece is Al HaNisim, and this is an insert this is liturgy that's added into our Amidah on two holidays. So it's added on Purim and it's added on Hanukkah. It's a text about blessings, so obviously for Purim we're really acknowledging this time when the Jews were saved by Esther, and on Hanukkah we're acknowledging this miracle of the oil. It's actually found in the Hoda'ah, in the Thanksgiving section, or the giving thanks section of our Amidah, so the last blessing. And this is basically just a really, a text which acknowledges our survival, which acknowledges these miracles which have led us to this day, to this time to eat greasy food and be merry. And so this is a setting by Dov Firmer, who is an Israeli composer, and it's kind of upbeat folk-style piece, Al HaNisim. The text is on page, where did I put that? The text, if you would like to read along, is on 264. Thank you so much, Rabbi. So let's, here we go. Oh, let's stand up. There we go. Al HaNisim ve'al ha'orkat ve'al ha'gurot ve'al ha'shuot ve'al ha'milchamot she'asita l'avotenu בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. Al Hanisim. Our next piece is Hanerot Halalu. This is a prayer which is recited before or after the Hanukkah candles, depending on who you ask. But as Rabbi Henry mentioned, Pirsomei Nisa, right, the publicization of the miracle. Just like we put the menorah in our windows, this text is also designed to publicize that miracle. And there are actually, supposedly there are 8 Hebrew letters in Hanerot Halalu, which correspond to our 8 candles or 8 days of Hanukkah. Now there's actually 9 letters, but Rabbi David Shlomo Elbashitz justified this and said that in Numbers 8, verse 2, there is no vav in the word Hanerot. So it's a little tenuous, but generally it has 9 letters, but you might find it somewhere with 8 letters which represent these 8 lights. So a little bit of a stretch, but it's there. We're going to continue with Hanerot Halalu. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam. Hanerot halalu אנחנו מדליקים על הניסים ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על ידי כהניך הקדושים. יא bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam. Hanerot halalu אנחנו מדליקים על הניסים ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על ידי כהניך הקדושים. וכל שנות ימי חנוכה וכל שנות ימי חנוכה bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim. Hey! All right, lots of energy there, and our last piece is a beautiful setting by Flori Jagoda, a Jewish composer from Sarajevo. We unfortunately lost her a few years ago. But she had Sephardic heritage, and she's probably the most famous exponent of Sephardic music and folk song of the 20th century. And she's really beloved for championing this repertoire and adding more, a lot of her own music. And so this is one of her famous pieces, probably her most famous piece, Ocho Candelitas, the 8 candles about our Hanukkah lights. Give me 1 second here. Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas por fazer, con alegrías y placer. Muchas fiestas por fazer, con alegrías y placer. Oh, candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Los pastelicos por comer, con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelicos por comer, con almendricas y la miel. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Thank you so much to our beautiful choir. You can take a seat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Maestro Don McGahan. Really fantastic, as always, to have your leadership and something like that. Kind of a tango, yeah. I forgot to say, sorry, when I said Sephardic music, particularly Ladino music, so that piece was in Ladino. Didn't mention that part. So if you speak Spanish, you probably would have got some of that.
So we're going to spend a few moments now thinking about Martha. So, Martha, do you want to come up or do you want to, yeah, why don't you come up? So as you're coming up, let me just say that we associate Hanukkah with miracles and with bravery and with spirit and with pride, but actually the root of the word means dedication. And Hanukkah reminds us of how our ancestors rededicated the temple in Jerusalem. And we've heard this phrase twice, or at least once tonight, by Yamim Hahem Bazman Hazeh, in days of old at this season. So we heard it in
Nisim.
and Al-Hanisim, and it's also in the second candle blessing for Hanukkah. So dedication, so that's what gets us to Martha. So Martha, as we're approaching the holiday of dedication, it feels pretty appropriate that we're honoring you for your nearly 24 years, right, of dedicated service to this congregation. Martha was the first in a long time. I mean, no? Okay, never mind. She was the archivist here for, in my recollection, you're the only one who's ever been here at RSC Shalom. But you really are responsible for setting up and maintaining the system and modernizing it and making it accessible and all those things, right? And setting up different kinds of systems. And so what you've done is you've allowed us to move literally important Jewish value to move from generation to generation, right? You're restoring the past for us, you're making the past accessible for us so that we can anchor ourselves in our history, in our values, and our traditions, and we can take that as we move forward. So it's a really important piece of this value, but not only value, this essential thing that we have to transmit our history and our values from one generation to the next generation, an essential piece of that. And for that, we're so grateful. So you served, in your position, you served as the link between objects and people. You allowed people to solve mysteries, family mysteries, to dig up things they may or may not have wanted to dig up. You gave people precious information about family members, and you created a community of volunteers, because not only were you doing that work, but you were doing that work with other people, and it was very important work for them. It was very important for them. I remember people like Audrey Lazar getting here despite her flagging health, and it was very important for her to be here, to be with you, and to be with other volunteers, and so you really provided that. On top of doing the work, you were creating community, and we're really grateful for that as well. So as a professional, Martha really teaches all of us. I told you this at the staff meeting the other day, what it means to be a role model, to be a mentor, even accidentally, if you didn't mean to do that. But you taught all of us how important it is and what it looks like. You illustrated for us what it looks like to care deeply about what you're doing, to have a real passion for your work, to care about it in so many different kinds of ways. You taught us, you showed us what it means to be a helpful colleague. You never said no if we had whatever we asked you to do. You always tried to help us to figure something out, and sometimes you just created things and said, how about if I did this or that, or how about if I made a presentation? It was always helpful. Your talks were always interesting. Even for a person like me who's not particularly interested in history, you made it so interesting, because it's really so much about the people and the play. It was always so interesting. And I guess I would say that you taught me when and how to speak up for things, and that meant how you taught me to do that is respectfully and passionately, and when it really mattered. So Martha was a person who, when she really cared about something, would say something, and if it wasn't so important, you might let that go, at least publicly. And that's actually a very important trait to model. And I think above all, Martha, you taught us how to live with dignity and grace. You showed us that with who you are, so humble, so lovely, just so gracious, so wonderful to be around. We are very lucky to have had you in this place and in our lives, and we are grateful for everything you did in this community. Rabbi Cantor Glaser and I are going to give you a blessing in a moment, but Martha has something she wants to say. So I'm going to save this last part as a little bit of a blessing that's going to go with what Cantor Glaser is going to sing. Okay?
Thank you, Rabbi Henry, and thanks everyone for being here. In the last few weeks, I've had a lot of conversations about what it's meant for me to spend the last 23 and a half years, not quite 24, here as your archivist, learning as much as I can about the rich history of Road of Shalom and doing everything I can to let other people know about it also. But tonight, in the context of services, I want to say something about another aspect of my work here. When I started graduate school for archives management, I was in my early 50s, and my stated goal was to find work as a public service archivist in a community history program when I graduated. It never occurred to me that I might work with a religious organization, but when that opportunity presented itself, I was really eager to take it on. I have, coincidentally, an undergraduate degree in religious studies, and I am a religious person myself, though in a different tradition. And being able to work within a faith community that shares my values, if not my exact beliefs, has added a real spiritual dimension to my work here. In the quarter century that I've been here, the congregation has cycled through various ups and downs, influenced by both internal and external factors. Excuse me, I've seen the congregation pulled into factions, and I've seen it pulled together, as after 9/11. In fact, the first service I ever attended here was in Cohen Chapel, memorial for the victims of 9/11. And also after the Tree of Life shootings, as Road of Shalom supported and welcomed Dor Hadash and Tree of Life when they relocated to this building. My perspective as a bit of an outsider has given me the opportunity to make observations about the workings of this Reformed Jewish community that most non-Jews don't get a chance to see. And that has really strengthened my belief that what unites us as human beings is stronger and much more meaningful than what divides us. I am not trained as an historian, but I think it's almost impossible to do good work as an archivist if you don't have the kind of historical perspective that allows you to understand the context of the documents you work with. When people want to learn about the earliest Jewish community in Pittsburgh, they'll very quickly find that there are a lot of opinions about what happened in those middle years of the 19th century, but there really isn't enough surviving documentation to be able to state definitively how events developed. I've found here that the trite phrase, lost in the mist of history, is very serviceable for this situation. Our early Jewish residents in Pittsburgh were from different linguistic and ethnic backgrounds and used different prayer books and liturgies in their worship. There were times when those differences came to the fore, and then other times when the desire for unity took precedence, allowing for the formation of long-lasting congregations that could support the religious needs and organizational growth of the Jewish community. Erev Shalom was a pioneer in that community building work, and 175 years later, it's still committed to building a vibrant, sustaining, and sustainable Reform community that supports living a full life according to Jewish values. I am so grateful for the time I've spent here, long enough to have more than a superficial understanding of the history that underlies today's active congregation. And I'm grateful to all of you for the time we've spent together and the work we've done together. Thank you.
And even though you've really tried, what have you never managed to forget? Yes, you know.
No?
About the pool. The pool.
Oh, the pool. There was a pool here. And Rabbi Henry doesn't believe it because I can't show her the evidence. But it's not my fault nobody took any pictures of it in 1912.
No pictures, no pool.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Martha, thank you for the blessings of your patience, your precision, your integrity, and your unwavering commitment to excellence. May God bless you and protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you, and may your retirement be as bright as a fully lit Hanukkah menorah. And may you take pride in knowing that your dedication has truly been a light to this community.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May you have peace in your heart, and have that peace bubble up and bring more peace and understanding and goodwill and respect and compassion, all those things that you are into the world. Thank you for 23 years of illuminating our past and brightening our future. Thank you.
Amen. Can you read some?
So how about you show some warmth to Martha? And thank you for being here tonight. We continue now with the rest of our service, beginning on page 282 with Aleinu. Please rise as you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
as you are able. Kaddish is on page 294. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Within the last week or Shiva period, Richard David Rothman, the brother of our member Janet Markle, and Isabel Fisk. Within the last 30 days, the Shoshim period, Shirley Abriola, Carol H. Albert, the cousin of our member Barbara Hepner, Lisa Kistler, our member, Gwen Miller, our member, and Rabbi Jonathan Stein, the uncle of our member Josh Pollack. We also remember those whose yahrzeit fell during this past week: Stuart A. Arnheim, Norma Bromberger, Joan Coulter Wolfson, Bob Davis, Thelma Finkelstein, Kenneth Franklin, Loretta Freiberg, Gary Gold, Samuel M. Goldberg, Henry Goldstein, Edgar Landerman, Josiah D. Lazar, Adolfo Ledichevsky, Morris Levitt, Alvin Lichtenstuhl, Max Marcus, Esther Marcus, Barbara Ann Markle, Beverly Mermelstein, Carl F. Myers, Irving Mitchell, Surma Jalali, Joni Ostro, Jack Leon Paradise, Marla Joyce Perlman, Walter Reese, Donald G. Schimmel, Shirley Schimmel. Are there any other names for Kaddish tonight? Go ahead.
Sam Leibovitz. Harry Green.
What else? Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for blessing. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach urtei, v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'galau v'izman kari v'imru amen. Ehei shmei rabbah mavarach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramah v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudashah b'ruchu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Ehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya oseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. In just a moment, we'll conclude our service with Kiddush and Motzi, and then Ma'ot Sur, get us right into Hanukkah. We'll announce that page. It's 365 if you want to get ready for that. We will be lighting candles on Zoom for Hanukkah, on Hanukkah's first and last nights. Cantor Glaser and I will be doing that, so you do need to sign up so you can get the link, and that is on our website. Or you can look on Monday's Shalomogram for registration information. And next Friday night, we're going to be here with Temple Sinai, as Cantor Glauser mentioned. We'll be lighting the big Chanukiah and putting it in the window so that everyone can see. You can bring your own menorah to light if you'd like. And services the candle lighting will be at 5, and then services will start at 5:30. So we'll give ourselves some time for singing and candle lighting, and then we'll be in here. After services, there's an oneg with latkes and desserts. Saturday, we're going to be at Temple Sinai.
Yes.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, sorry.
And also, the building will be closed on December 25th, 29th, and January 1st, and there's a couple early closures in there. If you need us, we're always here. So I know you want to thank the choir.
Yes.
So let me thank you. And Don for beautiful music always and helping to prepare the choir. We want to introduce Andrew, who's up there. He's our new sound person, and you can say hello to Andrew. And now you can thank the choir.
Thank you so much to Road of Shira. It's always a joy to fill this space with song with you. And yeah, thank you for all your hard work all year. And we'll see you in January.
And again, congratulations to Martha, and also speedy recovery. Kiddush
Yes.
is on page 4.
ויהי ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. וידבך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו. בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Ma'otzor is on page 365.
Ma'otzor Yeshuati lechana el shabeach, tikun betefilati v'sham todah nezabeach, letavin matbeach, mitzad hamnabeach, al zegnod v'shir mizmor, hanukat hamizbeach, al zegnod v'shir mizmor, hanukat hamizbeach. Rock of ages, let our song praise thy saving power. Thou amidst the raging foes was our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but thine arm availed us, and thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh.